After analyzing 173 AI automation agencies, yes, I counted, I found exactly what separates the ones scaling to $20,000 per month from the ones stuck at 2K or less. It is not the tools they use, it is not the fancy workflows, it is how they approach growth, strategy, and client acquisition. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4 key strategies the top players are using right now to grow fast, even if they're starting from scratch. And just so you know, I'm not guessing. This is based on what I've seen inside my own agency and from working closely with over 300 automation entrepreneurs inside my Skool community, people who are actually out there building real businesses, not just tinkering with AI tools. So, if you're serious about landing clients, getting consistent revenue, and building an agency that doesn't rely on luck, pay close attention. Now, quick disclaimer before we jump in. These strategies are working right now in 2025. If you're watching this in 2027, results may vary, but the deeper principles, the way top agencies think, sell, and grow, those don't expire. So don't just focus on the tactic, focus on the strategy that makes the tactic work. So let's get into it. Let's start with strategy number 1, asset-based cold outreach. Here's how most people are doing outreach right now, and maybe this sounds familiar. They scrape a list of leads from Apollo, grab some basic LinkedIn data and plug that into a cold email tool. Then they sprinkle in the first name, mention the company, maybe add a compliment about a recent post, and they hit send. They call it personalized, but let's be completely honest, it is surface level. And most of the time, it gets you exactly what you'd expect. One reply, maybe for every 100 emails you send, and even then it's usually someone being polite on the way to saying no. Now here's what the top agencies are doing differently. Yes, they're still scraping leads, but they're going way deeper on enrichment. They're using tools like Apify to pull extra context, then they scrape the lead's website, check out their social channels, maybe even scan their podcast episodes or recent interviews. The goal is simple. Figure out what this person actually cares about and what real business problems they're actively trying to solve. And this is the key. They use the context to create something valuable, something done for you. It could be a list of YouTube video titles tailored to their content style. It could be a CRM wireframe based on how their websites captured leads. Or it could be a cold email sequence that speaks directly to their audience and their offer. The point is, you're not sending an empty pitch, you're sending proof. One agency inside my own community used this outreach or used this approach and landed 3 clients in a single week just by sending highly personalized assets like these up front before ever asking for a single call. Before they made this shift, they were getting ghosted. Now they're getting replies like, "This is actually impressive, how fast can we get started?" That is the difference. Before, you would get 1 reply per 100 emails, most of them going nowhere. After, 1 solid response for every 12 to 15 emails sent, real interest, real opportunities. Because this isn't just better personalization, it is showing the client you've already done the work. You're not saying, "Hey, I understand your business," you're demonstrating it before you ever ask for anything in return. That's what makes this strategy so powerful right now. You're not sending a pitch, you're delivering value before the conversation even begins. On to strategy number 2. Sell before you build. This one hits especially hard if you're someone who loves building. And let's be real, if you're in automation, chances are you do. It feels productive, you get to tinker, build something cool, ship it, and hope it works. But here's the trap. The traditional loop goes like this. You get an idea, you start building, you spend a week or 3 refining it, you finally launch it, and then you wait. And most of the time, nothing happens, just silence. You've just burned 4 to 6 weeks on something no one asked for, no feedback, no leads, no sales, just a nice looking system collecting dust. Now compare that to the smarter loop, the one top earners are running. It's simple, it's idea, pitch, validate, then build. So instead of guessing what the market wants, they go test it. They send a few cold emails, run a small outbound sequence, drop the offer into a community or a LinkedIn post, and wait for a signal. If no one bites, cool. They kill it, move on, no harm done. But if people start replying, asking questions, showing interest, that is your green light. Now you have something worth building. This validation loop takes 6 to 8 days tops. Compare that to the traditional way where you might get 2 to 3 offers off the ground in 2 months. With this leaner method, you can test 7 to 8 in the same time frame. And here's why that matters. Even if just one of those offers sticks and it lands you a 3 to 4K month client, you're in business. Do it twice, you're past 7K a month. And you haven't wasted weeks guessing. You haven't overbuilt, you just followed the signal. This approach doesn't just save time, it builds momentum. Because now you're not just sitting around wondering if what you build is good enough, you're building things people already want. And that is the mindset shift. Don't lead with the product, lead with the pitch. Sell it first, build it once it's validated. It's faster, it's leaner, and it forces you to stay focused on what actually makes money. Strategy number 3. Play the long game and don't confuse speed with progress. When most people get into automation, the first tool they run to is make.com. And I get why. It is clean, visual, drag and drop. You can build something fast and it feels like you're making progress right away. But here's the reality. That speed comes at a cost. You're paying 40 to 70 bucks a month for convenience, but what you're not getting is control. You don't own the infrastructure, you're locked into someone else's ecosystem, pricing, and limitations. That is fine if your goal is to build something quick and simple. But if you're playing to win the long term, you need more than speed. That is where N8N comes in. Self-hosting N8N might cost you $10 to $20 a month, but what you're really investing in is flexibility. You can trigger workflows from anything, build exactly what you want, how you want, integrate with private APIs, deploy advanced logic without waiting for a platform to catch up. You're not boxed in by someone else's UI or pricing model. And yeah, there is a learning curve. You'll need a few extra days to figure out hosting, set up SSL, and wrap your head around environment variables. But that upfront effort pays off fast, because the people in my community who take the time to master N8N, they build leaner, more powerful systems, their costs stay low, their margins stay high, and they're not rebuilding workflows every time a SaaS platform changes its pricing or limits. They're building real infrastructure, and that is leverage. So don't just optimize for speed, optimize for control. Make.com might help you move quicker today, but N8N helps you move smarter for the next 5 years. And in this space of AI and automation, clients don't care if your stack looks pretty. They care if the system works and if it drives results. So take the time to learn the tool that gives you flexibility, control, and leverage. Because shortcuts are fine until they stop scaling with you. Here is something most people miss. Your cold outreach isn't always getting ignored because the message is bad. Often it's just never being seen. Most people send one cold email, get no reply, and assume the prospect wasn't interested. But the truth is, there's a good chance the prospect never opened it in the first place. Let's break down the numbers. Cold emails right now, on average, have an open rate of about 18%. LinkedIn messages sit around 22%. Instagram DMs, roughly 26%. Twitter or X DMs hover around 19%. Individually, those aren't great odds, but when you layer them, something interesting happens. If you send your message through all 4 platforms, your combined visibility shoots up to nearly 60%. You've now tripled the odds of being seen without changing a single word in your message. And that matters because you spent time building a high-value asset, maybe a Google Doc, a custom Loom video, a tailored CRM setup, or even just a personalized teardown. You want to do everything you can to guarantee that it lands in front of them. So here's the play. Send the asset by email, If they don't respond, follow up with a connection request and a short LinkedIn message. If that doesn't land, hit them with a quick DM on Instagram. Still nothing, drop it in their X inbox. Same message, same asset, just delivered through different channels. You're not being pushy, you're being present, because different people check different platforms. And the more they see your name, the more they associate it with value, not spam. From an ROI standpoint, this is a no-brainer. Let's say it costs you around 60 cents in scraping tools, AI tokens and automations to generate the asset. If just 1 in 10 people reply and a reply turns into a 2K client, you're looking at a return of nearly 3,000%. No extra leads, no extra effort, just better delivery. So here's the takeaway. Don't just build something valuable, make sure it gets seen. Because the best outreach strategy in the world doesn't work if it never hits the radar. Let's wrap things up. There's a reason most AI agencies stay stuck, and it is not the tools they're using, it is the way they think. The ones that grow fast, they follow 4 key principles. Lead with value, don't just show up asking for attention. Sell before you build, so test the market, then deliver. Use tools that give you speed or flexibility, depending on your game plan, and get seen. One channel isn't enough. Omnichannel is the new baseline. If you lock in even one of those, you'll start seeing better responses, better deals, and better clients. Lock in all 4, and that's how you build something real. And if you want help doing that, I've built my agency past $90,000 a month using these exact strategies. Inside my Skool community, I share everything: outreach workflows, lead gen automations, AI systems, and the back end of how I run it all. It's not theory, it's what I'm doing and what 300 other automation agency founders are doing alongside me. So if you're serious about scaling this, the link's below. I want to thank you for watching. If this helped, drop a comment. I actually read them. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.